Episode 20. Friend, what is there for you in this forest? Your kingdom of Kasi is where you belong. Return there and rule over your kingdom as you did before.
Māāsutasoma, I cannot return to Benares because I have made myself a public enemy there. In the past they know that I was the one who killed and devoured their nearest and dearest. This is why they banished me. If I return, they will only arrest me and punish me for my past crimes. I would not even be able to lift a hand against them in self-defense, lest I break my precepts. This is why I cannot return.
Māāsutasoma heard the man-eater's desperation and reassured him. Although you were once violent, I was able to tame you. Transforming the attitudes of the people of Benares is not nearly so much of a challenge. I guarantee you that if I'm unable to restore you to your kingdom, I will give you half of mine to rule over instead. The man-eater said,
Even if you were to give me half of your kingdom, people there would not accept me as the ruler.
Māāsutasoma felt a responsibility to the man-eater, since he was the one who insisted he abstain from eating human flesh, which for the man-eater was as good as sacrificing his life at Māāsutasoma's behest. Therefore, Māāsutasoma had to find a way to restore his friend's sovereignty. To remind the man-eater of the joys he had had in the past, and to encourage him to return to his kingdom, he said, Can't you remember the heavenly flavors of the delicacies from your royal kitchens? Why forgo these to be alone in the jungle? Can't you remember the slender courtesans who accompanied you, beautiful to the eye like Indra's own retinue in heaven? Why forgo these to be alone in the jungle? Can't you remember the softness of the crisp, white bed and pillows of your royal bedchamber? Why forgo these to be alone in the jungle? Can't you remember being lulled to sleep by slender women dancing with sweet music and drumming? Why forgo these to be alone in the jungle? Can't you remember the blossomed trees, elegant horses, chariots, and elephants in your gardens? Why forgo these to be alone in the jungle? Think carefully, friend. Don't you regret it at all? Are you sure you can live in the forest? The man-eater listened to the reminder of his past happiness and finally decided to return to his kingdom. He said,
Friend, once again, you have brought me to my senses. I will do your bidding.
He was inspired to praise his friend with a stanza on association with the wise, saying,
Just as the waning moon loses its light day by day, associating with fools erodes away one's virtues day by day. By the association with a foolish cook, I committed evil deeds, which led me to suffer. However, just as the waxing moon gains brightness day by day, associating with a wise friend can only strengthen one's virtue. By my association with you, Māāsutasoma, I have done good deeds which have brought me happiness. Water that falls on high ground is transitory and fickle, like one's association with a fool. It made me unstable. By contrast, water that falls in a pond will stay extendedly. Like one's association with the wise, it gives one stability. No harm comes of association with the wise. There are only benefits for the rest of your life. Association with the fool leads to one's downfall. Therefore, the character of the wise and the foolish are far apart indeed. Now that the nightmare was over, Māāsutasoma, the man-eater, and all the 101 kings left the jungle in the direction of Benares. Approaching the border, they met bypassers who rejoiced in the miracle when the whole of the story was retold. They were amazed at how Brahmadatta had converted back from a man-eater and how he was returning to claim his kingdom. The people were delighted to provide food and shelter to the best of their ability all along the route taken by the kings. In addition, many people followed the procession all the way to Benares. In this way, King Māāsutasoma was accompanied by all 101 kings, as well as villagers who followed in procession, all the way up to the city gates.